Hi, Jeannie. It's great to see you. Are the rumors true? Are you dating Anderson .Paak?
Hi guys.
Are you?
This movie is so good.
How is it?
Beautiful, Jeannie.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you arriving at Andy's.
Personally, this is my quote. Real niggas don't cheat.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
I kind of understand what
They
you
do not.
mean when you say that.
They do not.
I understand what you mean.
It's something in us
Yeah.
that makes us want to be right
Yes.
across the board.
It's really looking like Jeannie is going through a messy stretch right now, because just days after things started falling apart with Anderson .Paak, nothing even got the chance to lock in properly. Everything seemed shaky, and before anything could settle, it all just slipped out of place in a way that has people talking. Then, out of nowhere, Jeezy steps out and makes it loud and clear he's standing on his own now, and suddenly the whole image Jeannie was trying to present just doesn't hit the same anymore. It's like while she was carefully showing off this picture-perfect situation, Jeezy was moving low-key, building something real with Mia, and waiting for the exact right moment to show it. The timing alone has people side-eyeing everything, because the whole situation just looks wild when you line it all up. Sources close to everything are saying Jeannie is definitely not brushing this off, and it makes sense, because it's not just about Jeezy moving on, it's about who he moved on with and how smooth and drama-free it looks compared to what she has going on right now. But what really has everyone locked in is how far back this could actually go. People are bringing up old interviews, the chemistry that was already there, and how everything seemed to fall apart and come together at the exact same time. They were even backing each other when things got rough, and fans caught those vibes early, but nobody thought things would switch up this fast. Meanwhile, Anderson .Paak is moving like someone who feels completely justified right now, and it's starting to get real messy. He's out here dropping subtle shade, keeping his distance, and slowly putting together a totally different story about why he walked away in the first place, and people are catching on fast. At this point, it's really starting to look like Jeannie just can't catch a break, because pressure is hitting her from every angle all at once. Everything escalated in just a few days, which makes the whole situation feel even more intense and hard to ignore. Not long ago, news dropped that Anderson .Paak ended things after barely any time together, and people are saying it didn't even last long enough to feel real. Then, reports started spreading about concerns tied to her past comments and how people were taking them, which only added more attention and made things even heavier. And right when it seemed like things couldn't get more overwhelming, they actually did, because her ex Jeezy stepped in and seemingly confirmed the rumors about him and Mia at the same time. That timing is way too loud for anyone to ignore, and now everybody is locked in watching how this plays out. Now, people are saying they're officially together, and insiders claim Jeannie is taking it hard because of how all of this is making her look. Seeing her ex move on with someone as respected as Mia while she's dealing with a sudden breakup is not the kind of spotlight she wanted at all. What's really wild is that people have been side-eyeing Jeezy and Mia for a while now, wondering if something was going on behind the scenes. But they kept everything low-key, never confirming or denying a single thing, and that silence is exactly what makes this reveal hit even harder now. And what really has people talking is how they reportedly held each other down during some tough moments. It wasn't just casual vibes, it was deeper than that. And now people are looking back at everything with a whole new perspective. Both of them came out of long, serious relationships. And even though Mia wasn't legally married, her situation was still heavy and complicated with a lot of history behind it. Things reportedly ended in a very public and uncomfortable way, with claims of broken trust that had everyone watching closely at the time. Around that same period, Jeezy's split from Jeannie was also unfolding, and the timing has people connecting dots like crazy. Sources are saying they leaned on each other during those moments, helping one another process everything and move forward step by step. Now, seeing them step out together after all of that has everybody talking and trying to figure out how long this has really been building. One insider even jumped on social media, claiming there were warnings before everything came out, which just adds even more heat to the situation. According to that post, Mia may have allegedly been tied to more than one workplace situation, and once people started connecting the dots, things got real quiet, real fast. Accounts linked to it were suddenly getting locked down. One person reportedly wiped everything clean, while another shut off comments completely, like they didn't want any part of the conversation. It was also being said that both individuals were in committed relationships at the time, which made everything feel even more intense and complicated. Behind the scenes, there were claims that one of them had connections to someone in a high-level position within the organization, adding another layer of tension that people couldn't ignore. Reports suggested the organization had already addressed concerns at least once, and even told them to step back, but those warnings didn't stick, and now people are questioning how it was allowed to continue. That alone has everyone looking at the situation sideways. What really has people talking is how everything played out after that, because even with all this building up, Mia reportedly had no idea what was about to come out publicly. When the official statement dropped about internal policy violations involving staff, everything hit all at once, not just for the public, but for her too. People were shocked by how sudden it felt, especially with claims that everything had been kept quiet until the last possible moment. And it didn't stop there, because Mia had reportedly just made a huge life change, packing up and moving from LA to Boston, only for everything to fall apart right after. Almost immediately, the timing had people completely stunned, especially with claims that everything was already close to going public. It all felt way too sudden, like things were about to explode at any second, and then suddenly did. Nia later spoke about how deeply it affected her, saying, "I literally felt like my heart had jumped out of my body, and that alone hit people hard." She made it clear that her main focus shifted straight to her child, especially during such a confusing and emotional moment that felt impossible to fully process. She explained that being there for her family was the only thing that truly mattered right then. Nothing else even came close. She also opened up about how painful it was watching her child try to understand everything once it all became public, and you could feel how heavy that moment was. According to her, "I think the most heartbreaking thing about all of this is seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public. It was devastating, and it still is. And that kind of impact doesn't just disappear overnight." She also shared that there are still tough moments, and she expressed disappointment that no one from the organization reached out to check on their well-being, which only adds more weight to everything that already happened. There were also reports about ongoing tension after the split, especially around support and communication, and that only made an already painful situation feel even heavier. On top of dealing with heartbreak, she had to step up and carry most of the responsibility for their child during that time, which is a lot for anyone to handle, especially with everything happening so publicly. Not long after Jeezy filed for divorce from Jeannie, it became clear this wasn't going to be a smooth split at all, just like the other situation. The energy quickly turned tense, especially when Jeannie shared that she felt completely blindsided by the divorce filing, which caught a lot of people off guard. She reportedly tried to hold everything together and fight for the marriage, but it started to look like Jeezy was already mentally checked out and moving in a completely different direction. Sources were saying she was deeply hurt and still holding on to hope of rebuilding the family unit she believed in, which made the situation even more emotional. There were even reports saying Jeannie was devastated that her marriage ended and wanted her family to stay strong as one unit, which shows just how serious she was about making it work. That kind of emotion doesn't come lightly, and people really felt that. But Jeezy seemed locked in on something else entirely, and his words only added more tension to everything. He reportedly said he needed to focus on who I'm becoming and to focus on who's not coming with me. And that line had people reading between every single word and trying to figure out what he really meant. It's still not fully clear when Jeezy and Mia actually started getting closer, but fans have been speculating heavy that it may have happened during a really tense period in his previous marriage. That timing alone has people asking a lot of questions and looking at everything a little differently now. A lot of that speculation picked up when serious allegations were brought up during the divorce process, adding a whole new level of tension to everything going on. According to court filings, Jeannie made claims about emotional and physical mistreatment, describing arguments that allegedly involved harsh words and even threats about ending the marriage, which painted a picture of a relationship under serious pressure. She also shared moments where she felt unsafe and described incidents she said became physical, along with situations where she felt restricted during conflicts, which made the situation sound even more intense. Another account mentioned a disagreement during a night out that escalated into a tense moment while they were leaving, something she described as overwhelming and distressing. These allegations were serious and quickly grabbed public attention, adding even more scrutiny to the split and keeping people locked into every update. However, it's important to note that Jeezy denied all of these claims and pushed back strongly against the accusations, making it clear he did not agree with that version of events. With all of this unfolding at once, fans started connecting timelines and questioning everything, trying to figure out how it all really played out behind the scenes. This was around the time people believe he may have started leaning on Nia for support, but none of that has ever been officially confirmed, which leaves a lot of questions still hanging in the air. That uncertainty alone has kept fans guessing and watching every move closely. He pushed back hard, claiming that Jeannie was trying to get back at him for walking away, and he didn't hold back with his response. He stated the allegations were not only false, but also deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone he once loved, making it clear he strongly disagreed with everything being said. He went even further, calling the situation a deliberate attempt to damage his reputation, saying it was a malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family, and added that it was upsetting to see things play out like this in public. Those words alone had people reacting and picking apart every detail. At the same time, he emphasized that his main focus was being present as a father and continuing to pursue shared custody through the legal system, which showed where his priorities were at during all the chaos. He also expressed confidence that everything would be handled properly, saying the truth would come out through the right channels. Still, the entire situation had people talking non-stop because it was layered, emotional, and very public, with new details constantly keeping the story alive. But right in the middle of all that tension, something unexpected seemed to grow, because Jeezy and Nia reportedly started spending more time together, leaning on each other through their separate struggles, and that connection slowly started to deepen. Fans really started noticing something after an interview where they both opened up about their past relationships, and that moment stood out in a big way. It was one of the first times Nia spoke publicly about her breakup, calling it a major wake-up call that completely changed how she looks at everything moving forward. She even hinted that at one point, she considered giving the relationship another chance after everything that happened, mainly because she wanted to keep her family together. But then came a powerful moment when her older son stepped in and encouraged her to choose herself and not settle for less than she deserved, and that hit people hard. That conversation seemed to shift everything, making it clear that moving forward was the only real option left for her. It showed a turning point where she started focusing more on her own well-being and what was truly best for her and her family, and you could feel that change in her energy. The interview itself was meant to focus on healing and growth after difficult relationships, but fans walked away with a completely different takeaway. Instead of just hearing about recovery, they started connecting dots, reading between the lines, and wondering if there was something more quietly building behind the scenes. This isn't just casual gossip anymore, this has turned into something way bigger, and people are locked in trying to figure it all out. Everyone is analyzing timelines, comparing different stories, and trying to piece together what really went down behind closed doors, and the deeper it gets, the more intense it feels. At the same time, there's this feeling that one single moment could flip everything upside down at any second. One interview, one public appearance, or even one statement could completely change how this entire situation is viewed, and that kind of pressure has people watching closely for every little move. Right now, it almost feels like the story is paused at its most dramatic point, like everything is just sitting there waiting to explode again. And the second something new drops, it's guaranteed to have everyone talking all over again, because the anticipation just keeps building and building. It's like people are waiting for that one moment that finally confirms what's real and what's just speculation, and until then, every detail feels important. Timing is playing a huge role in all of this too, because every move, every appearance, and even the silence feels perfectly placed, whether it's intentional or not. Some are even calling this a major reality check moment, with everything hitting at once, all the comparisons, all the reactions, and all the pressure coming together in a way that's hard to ignore. So, what do you think is really going on here? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want more breakdowns like this.